How is it going, everyone? Welcome to more Grid 2019. And my objective for today is finishing both of the first DLC seasons. So that might be a very... what's the word? Well, unreasonable, I think it's a good word to describe it, but I'll try. So I want to start with this one simply because it uses a category I like. So let's just do that. But yeah, ideally... wait, there are two Okutama races already, dude. Maybe this wasn't the best way to start, but it's fine, don't worry about it. I think that of all the things, it's probably the least offensive one. Like all of the things remaining, I mean, in the first and second season. So the hardest part for me is getting used to the controls. I mean, it's only been 2 days since I played it, so you will think that it shouldn't be a problem, and yeah, normally it shouldn't, but it's hard to get used to it, you know? It's fine, I have to, especially for what comes after this. There is a time attack that is quite an issue to do. I'm not a fan of... Yeah. Wasn't a fan of what those guys were doing. Unfortunately, as always, it's way preferable to do the quali and leave all these assholes behind. And I probably will do it, but... It's one of those tracks that is very, very simple to drive in, but not as simple when you have all these guys pretty much trying to kill you. Well, that one was my fault for being on the piano. It takes a little more to get used to the controls than I expected. It's fine. At least this is one of those where I don't really... I cannot really blame the car. The car does. Well, of all of this, I think it's the one that does best. So, it's definitely the best option. Unfortunately, even though they aren't as many as the previous attempt, there are still quite some guys in front of me that are gonna get in my way. It's very dangerous. I don't know exactly what the AI does, but like whenever someone is ahead of you, they do their best to block you. Like, I'm pretty sure they do that. Huh, okay. And everyone apparently can do that corner super fast. Oh wow, okay. Someone learned how to fly. Also, if you don't want me to bother you, maybe you should stop blocking me, just as an idea. You know? I think that will work well. Be careful with the pianos here. The pianos here are deadly. Especially at this speed and... well, with the fact that it's raining. Right. At least like that I can leave the Nemesis behind. Then very far behind. I don't know what he did, but he really messed up. Okay. So with only one car ahead, I think this should be fine. Probably. Hopefully. Apparently this is a corner that I'm not taking as fast as they take it. Okay, that was very messed up. It's fine. Like, I'll take the second place. The issue... Okay, so the Nemesis recovered somehow. Not sure how you did that, though. Or maybe no. It looked like it did. Yeah, I don't think I'm reaching that guy now. This is a track where you don't have that many spots to recover speed since it's mostly like full speed straights. Well, straights. Not straights by themselves, but pretty much like glorified they are super fast corners, right? So pretty much straights. So it's not like you can do much different than the opponents here. And I quite honestly don't know if these cars really have a difference in speed, in top speed. Wait, did he crash? No. Yeah, he did. No, but that's a lap car. Well, don't really care about a lap car. I guess in a track like this, lap cars tend to be common because accidents are common. Okay, I'm definitely not reaching that guy unless he also has an accident, which could happen easily. Can happen to anyone. I am getting closer though. I think he has the... Fuck. He has the same model that I do, doesn't he? It's hard to tell. He's a little bit far, but I think it is the same car I'm using. Which will mean that in the case that these cars have different top speeds, it wouldn't really matter because it's the exact same way. It is. In fact, the livery looks very similar to mine here, but he's not my teammate. And this livery is not a default one, so... Well, I mean, it's one of the ones that you can pick, but it's not like part of the... Oh, fuck, this is gonna suck. This is gonna be a disaster. Well, could have been worse. I mean, it would have been a disaster if this was real life, but thankfully it isn't. Yeah, unfortunately with that I cannot really... Well, I could overtake him if I do a very brutal dive bomb at the end, but... No, even with that, I mean, this is not really a corner that doing a dive bomb will make much sense. Oh, but it's an actual natural overtake them, okay. Was not expecting that, but I'll take it. I don't know why you took that so slowly. But, hey, thanks for the freebie. I appreciate it. Okay, so what else? Oh, okay, so it's full version then with 4 laps, dude. See, this is why I hate these events on these DLCs. Don't you think 4 laps in full version of Okudama, maybe that's a little bit too much? Like, maybe. I personally think it is. Maybe this will be one that will be wise to choose retire. Because even if it's early in the championship, it's like I already know this one will be the worst race. I don't need to play the other ones to know that. Though Okutama Sprint, which I think it's the last one, is a good second candidate, I guess, for the worst race. But I'll keep going for now until I get into an inevitable accident, which will most likely happen, but it's fine. Oh, what the hell? Okay, so you can tell that it's not just me, the one that struggles there on that corner. Like, I didn't even provoke that accident this time. Well, that's a shame that everyone else is pretty much gone, but I mean, it's either that or restarting, and the only option I'm picking after opening the post menu in this race is retire. I'm not gonna pick restart. So for now, let's just not open the post menu for the time being. Oh wow, wait, what's wrong? Wait, that was a big one. At least 5 cars crashed there. What is wrong with you guys? What are you even doing? Like, all of you? Did you wake up in the wrong side of bed or what? Like, yes, this track is absolute, like, nuclear garbage, yes, but usually the AI doesn't do that badly here, right? Maybe these cars in particular are too hard for the AI to handle or something. Okay, yeah, nice cornering, Mr. Ferrari. I appreciate it. Well, a third place is more than what I initially expected, so I think I'm fine with it. Okay, and that Ferrari crashed again. Yeah, there's something wrong with the AI today. I mean, in the previous track I seen many accidents with other cars, so I assume it was natural, but if it's happening here too, I'm not so sure if it's that natural. Maybe the RNG seed that appear when I open the game makes everyone more prone to drive like shit. It's possible. Well, at least so far it seems that neither the second or the first place are gonna have issues, so I think that you gotta accept... Ah, fuck. Well, accept this third place as long as you can keep it. And I'm starting to have doubts about that. I mean, keep in mind that I cannot keep up with the AI in this track normally. So the fact that I'm third is simply because of those multiple accidents that happened, not for any other reason. Okay, that's a little bit fucked up, if you ask me. Even more fucked up that you turn into Nemesis after a hit that you very clearly provoke. I feel like that's, like, even mocking me, you know? Okay. I think that I'm about to pull the trigger to retire. Though I'm not sure if I like the idea with this guy, since it's been such a chaotic race. This guy that is in second place in the tournament is in 8th place. Normally they are on the last positions, but here he's not. There's one more lap anyways. Unfortunately, well, and more... Oh, he went straight to him. Pretty funny. Well, at least by that, if I manage to finish the race, I make sure that the second place won't go anywhere. Hey, this is a disaster of a race. I guess at least not restarting or, well, retiring has the benefit of witnessing all this shit, which is pretty amusing. Even the AI acknowledge how much of a piece of garbage this trash is. This, well, I meant to say track. I should say trash by pure instinct. You can't be serious that you give me a penalty for that. I didn't even think that penalties were possible in that side of the track. Well, now I do. I mean, if my position wasn't bad already, you want it to be worse. I feel like at the end of the day, I'm just gonna get 0 points in here. Because these guys will keep approaching, that's for sure. And with those 4 guys so close, if they don't have the accident in the same place that they did before, I will end up being in 10th place, which means, okay, well, there are more accidents here, but yeah, with a penalty this doesn't matter. Oh, there was no penalty. Nice. Yeah, that was a disaster, but I mean, compared to how I usually do here, it very sadly was not that bad. Okutama is... You gotta kill that truck with fire, dude. Kill it with fire, sacrifice it to the Shinto gods, and seal it. Seal whatever remains in the ashes to never be accessed again. Okay, you know, this little bitch, Maria Torres, right? You are getting pissed off for shit that you are causing, so can you stop being a bitch? Or is that too much to ask? It seems like it might be. See, like, for example, that one, that's something I caused. So if that guy became Nemesis, it will make sense. But you don't make sense. That's the issue right here. I can smell the blood in the air. Not literally, of course. My room doesn't smell like anything. No, I mean that I can smell the blood thirst in my opponents. Okay. I guess that I was just smelling myself, my own bloodthirst. Alright. I'm surprised that wasn't terminal damage, but yeah, I guess no problem. Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. It's not terminal damage because this car has the engine on the rear. So yeah, it's fine. Well, I mean, obviously, no, it will still be terminal damage if it was real life with an impact like that. At least it didn't damage the engine, so everything is fine, right? Yeah, unfortunately, Paris is another track that I'm not very good at. I guess I'm not as bad as with Barcelona, but my struggle is still pretty big. These results, well, ironically the previous race I guess didn't have that bad of a result with the fact that it was a 5th place. That ironically could have been a 3rd place if I was slightly faster at the end to overtake every car that got involved in the accident. I wasn't fast enough. This is such an evil corner though. You pretty much have a full speed chicane into a very sharp slow corner, and you cannot really see it because the chicane doesn't let you see what's coming. Very evil, really. At least, well, I don't know where my... Oh, it's behind. I think it's... Well, not that far behind, but it's somewhere behind me, my apparent rival. I'm surprised that I'm doing these races on their full length when these are such bad results. And here the opponents are not really getting into accidents like they were in the previous one, so this one will make more sense to immediately retire for sure. The 8th place still gives you some points. And then the next one after this is Okutama Sprint. Yeah, I guess it is a pretty rough tournament to start the stream with after all. I mean, the only good thing are the cars. This is a very good category, the hypercar category. It's pretty nice. I basically just started with a very rough thing. Maybe I can take one more position before the end though. It will be nice. Seems that the guys ahead of me are getting slowed down a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Like, my pace is not good at all. I mean, you can tell by looking at the guys that are behind me that are all together like a train. But the same thing is happening ahead, so maybe the leader is also not that fast here. Well, not the leader, I think it's the second place that is the issue. Not like it's something I should care about right now when I'm not even close to it. It's a shame because these guys are all very close to me, but I don't think I'm gonna reach them. Ooh, I almost crashed. And at that speed, yeah, it's not very nice. I guess I could keep up with them, which is better than nothing, but yeah, that was pretty bad. At least it's points. Yeah, and point-wise, I'm not even doing that badly. So Okutama Sprint, most likely the full version. Oh, it's not really. And that's so random. That you have 3 super long races and the last one is like a short version of an already short track. I mean, well, not short in the sense that, you know, it would be better if it didn't exist. I mean that it's obviously gonna be one lap, because I guess there are no laps, right? Like, you just go from point A to point B. Man, why do the Ferraris here have to be such bitches? Man, what's wrong with you all? Oh shit. I guess I can feel very proud that I have not retired in a single event here. It's pretty nice. I was able to keep my cool. I didn't feel compelled to just open the post menu and press retire. Obviously the results are trash, but I win, so who cares? You know? Obviously if you want to do this faster, the easiest way is to just, you know, retire in multiple of those. So the thing is that here, the last one remaining is this time attack thing, but last time it went terribly, and I don't expect that to go much different today, really. So I gotta try it, I guess, but like this first one already looked very rough, and unlike the other tournaments, you cannot really retire in any, because the guys that are at the top will always be at the top, pretty much. But yeah, here I could not get a good, like a single good lap. So I feel like, then again, if I leave this for later, how will that be better? It wouldn't. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to do. Not to mention it's also on rain time, and with a car that even if it's not that bad, it's a whatever car, you know. Certainly not even close to the level of the hypercars. I think that doing this now is probably a bad idea. But it's a bad idea now, and in any time it will be a bad idea. Just the way it is. One thing that I think that cannot happen is falling behind the car I have in front of me. I need a car that guides me, but it's just that I cannot even keep up with it, you know. That's kind of the problem. It starts becoming a problem after the first corners. He just does these other corners so much faster than I do. Okay, that certainly was better than last time, but he's still gaining more distance on me. With something like that, he will keep gaining distance on me. If I could at least be closer to him to better copy his racing lines, that would be pretty nice, but yeah, keeping up with his speed is pretty hard. Yeah, don't let that third place fool you, that's not gonna remain a third place. I can guarantee you that. Well, it already is not. Certainly better than last time, but not anything to write home. Hold up. Need to waste this corner. I don't think I will consider that ace in it, but it's not like hitting the walls is not allowed, so you don't get a penalty. And your car doesn't really get damaged either, only visually I guess, but who cares? This is where I start losing positions very quickly. Damn it, dude. How can this track in this particular setup be so hard? Wait, how is it possible? It shouldn't be, but it is. But I'm already out of top 10, pretty cool. I'm heading to last place, obviously. That's the reason why I want it to be close to me. I need to be able to see what it does. Seems that I should keep getting further and further. I don't understand, like, to the point that it almost feels like, I don't know, sometimes I really feel like the CPU is cheating somehow, but it's not, that's the problem. But I don't comprehend how they can be doing these corners faster, like, how? It just doesn't make sense. I am getting closer to him at least. Oh, really? That was enough to set the best time? That doesn't seem to make much sense. I was behind... Well, maybe it wasn't behind my own time, but rather behind the top time. That sometimes I don't understand what the arrows and the colors in the partial time really mean, but okay. Apparently that worked, but it didn't even look like it was a fast lap. I feel even more confused now. Yeah, I guess I'll never comprehend this track properly. And keep in mind that it was a lap where I crashed against the wall at, well, I wouldn't say full speed, pretty fast. The interesting thing is that that time is most likely good enough to remain first. Yeah, and here I feel like I'm doing exactly the same as the previous lap, and yet I'm somehow 1.5 seconds slower. Just kinda crazy, really. But at least that's an amazing start to this one, and hopefully the next tracks are not as hard to drive as this one. But yeah, that was 1.5 seconds slower. It really feels like you don't control your car here. Like, it just does what it does. Yeah. Well, now we're in Silverstone. Then Red Bull Ring and then Sydney. Yeah, the other ones, well, no, Red Bull Ring is probably gonna be a problem. My Red Bull Ring has already proved to be an issue, especially if the idea is set a fast lap instead of just overtaking. That's way too long, okay. Bad start. That's the slowest corner in the track, I think. At least in this variant of the track. This here, it seems that I'm not already being left behind. And this is only a sub 1 minute variant, so that's nice. I like that. It seems that I'm doing it well. It's 5 laps, so yeah, if it's as short as it is, I guess it's not that big of a deal. Ah, fuck me, no. Okay. Thankfully it wasn't off track. That's temporarily first. Probably not gonna stay there for a while. But it's certainly looking better than the previous one. Even being able to keep up with this one, it will start becoming an issue, right? About getting in my way. Can I record a little? Barely. Well, doesn't seem like anyone is beating that time. So I guess this one will be a free win after all. Even got a better time there. I think that here it's just messed up that the first event is the one it is. Like the full version of Paris in the rain. It will be most likely the hardest one here. Well, Red Bull Ring definitely has potential to be harder, but I don't know. I don't think we can both fit in this corner here. Okay. That works. That was an even better lap. Well, not to mention that the guy that is supposed to be my rival is at least not in the top 4. Well, in that case, maybe I wouldn't have that much trouble, like, you know, winning without really needing to get a good result in every one of these. So the Red Bull Ring will probably be one of those where I relax a little bit more. Sydney, which is the last one, I think I should be able to do well, probably. Okay. It seems that the positions behind me are, you know, changing quite a bit. This is also a short version of the track. Well, unfortunately in rain. No, it's fine. Red Bull Ring has these super sharp corners that the AI seems to do rather well, but I don't. Wait, that wasn't off track? I mean, it was clearly off track, but the game didn't count it for some reason. I don't know what's the idea of adding rain to the hard tracks. Like, they are already hard, they don't need rain to be hard. I guess that one was off track. Not the other one though, but yeah, that one. Well, that one makes even less sense because it was on asphalt. And yes, it's still off track, but it's like, you know. Off track again on the same one. Well, there was one time attack that was this, but in the normal, you know, direction, and I keep getting off track in that same corner. Though regardless of the off track, my lap times here are trash. So yeah, I guess we're not really getting this one at all. I think retiring will probably be the smartest thing to do here. Though that also will force me to do well no matter what on Sydney, but it's not like I'm doing well on this one. I'm doing horribly. At least that one wasn't off track, but this is gonna be a worse time than what somehow is my PB. Yeah, no thank you. I'm still at first, so it's fine, but yeah, that was as cancerous as I thought it was gonna be. And like the fact that it adds rain is even more fucked up, dude. Like, what's the need to add rain to an already hard track? And then the ones that are not that bad, you just leave them without rain. Like, you ever heard of balance? Well, clearly not. I shouldn't have any issues to win this one. That kinda looked like off track to me on the guy in front of me. Feel like you are cheating a little bit right now. Okay, that was the best lap, but not by a lot. Those were cool drifts. So far I wasn't able to overtake anyone though. Not like you need. Yeah, that was also a PB. Surprised that no one is setting another PB. I mean, at least compared to the guy that is in second place. Yeah, was a bad dive on. It's fine. I do really want to overtake this guy though. That was not off track either. Nice. This guy in front of me is supposed to be one of the fastest ones, but he's still not setting a better time than that one that he already set. You're being quite an issue right now, so yeah, allow me to overtake real quick. Also not off track, nice. It's gonna be a PB. Yeah. Yeah, and they still cannot do a sub 58 time. They cannot do that. Their fastest lap, I'm pretty sure, was the first one, and then never again they could get a better one. These guys are most likely gonna... Oh, never mind. I think that with a hit like that, my chances of PB are very high. It wasn't. Still, they couldn't PB either, so I win. Well, that was surprisingly faster than I was expecting. But it's the fact that they start with that Paris and rain event that makes everything fucked up. Alright, so now on to the head-off event. So yeah, these are a single race with only 3 opponents, I think. And yeah, it's just like in the last one I start at last place. Well, or rather I guess I start at second place. That's the interesting thing about these two cars, like, seems like the Nissan has way better 0 to 100, but then the rest of the acceleration is way better for the Ford Sierra. I mean, we might see it here with my opponent simply... Well, my opponent, no, I mean my teammate simply falling behind, but we will see. Maybe he's able to hold them off. Probably not for long. But yeah, will be pretty cool. But right now he's holding them off pretty well, and it's pretty clear too. Like, these guys shouldn't be that far behind, but they are. Now, the moment a long straight appears, that's probably gonna change, but we will see. Yeah, like on this main straight, I don't think you will be able to hold them off anymore. But hey, that was a very good effort, you holding them off for that long. Like, good shit, man. Well, you're still somehow holding them off. And can't believe that my teammate here is actually acting like a teammate. Actually helping his fellow teammate. That's so nice of you. You know, that might be the first time you do that. I didn't even need to tell you to defend. Well, I don't even know if that's a thing in this game. Maybe it is. I don't know. Yeah, on the right side, even if this is a relatively long race, it's the only race you need to beat to win the event. And then I'm pretty sure that on the other side you probably have a hypercar race. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm still very curious to see if you can keep that second place for too long or not. So even if you can't, so far you've been able to keep them very far behind me, so this is indeed some very high quality teamwork. Like, I basically escape with the lead while you hold them back, and we both win like that, I guess. And we both end ahead of them. I mean, sure, you don't win the race, but I mean, hey, let's be honest, you will have no chance of winning the race anyway, so you are just assuming your role perfectly. I guess the only problem is that this kinda becomes like a time trial, right? Since there's no one else to directly compete with. Though, I wouldn't be surprised if they managed to overtake him that on the remaining... you have to be shitting me. Okay, well, now I definitely need you to hold them off. Now it's no longer a luxury but a necessity. Also, how is it going, Metits? Here doing some teamwork, surprisingly. Well, rather it's my teammate that is doing the teamworking thing. It's a team effort, okay? I'm the fast one and he's the slow one, slowing the other guys down. I will say that we both are doing important stuff. It's just that what I'm doing comes naturally. No, you know, intention to brag or anything, but compared to my teammate, I'm definitely quite fast. Maybe what my teammate is doing right now is also coming very naturally for him. He's very slow and he's slowing down the other guys just naturally. He's not even trying. This game is so gorgeous, yeah. It is pretty gorgeous. I wonder how the one that comes afterwards looks graphically. The way the light reflects on the rain is making me tear up. Yeah, and keep in mind that you are watching an encoded version of it. I can guarantee you that it looks better on my screen. Like, it's one of, like, games like this, even though YouTube does a good enough job at showing more or less how the streamer is looking at it, well, rather than YouTube, is the encoder. YouTube also adds more compression, but you know, even if it was without any additional compression, no way. That is a problem. It's fine. At least it wasn't terminal damage. No worries. I gotta be careful. Oh shit. That doesn't look very good. I gotta be careful because the penalty might fuck me up, and this is a very long race that I rather not repeat if possible. At least my penalty is at most gonna be 2 seconds, but I need to stay those 2 seconds ahead. And I'm not sure if I'm 2 seconds ahead right now. I need to learn how to make games like this. I don't think that you can make games like this for the simple fact that this was made by a multi-millionaire company that has like 30 years of experience in the industry. You know, like this wasn't made by a single person. This was made by a group of professionals, you know, like a big group of professionals, not like just 20 guys in a garage like this. This is made with a lot of money behind. No, I mean, I know that there are some games made by solo devs that look pretty, but making a racing game as a solo dev that looks pretty is not that easy. And that's mostly because racing games are very special, as most people don't give a shit about them, so most of the resources that you see are typically not made for this type of games. Like for example, having like super high resolution models of cars, that's something that I don't know if there are many of those available for free. You didn't make racing games? Well, the thing is that I don't know if this will look. Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, you can make a game that looks like this that is not a racing game, but I think that this being a racing game certainly helps shaping the way it looks. And I got no penalty, nice. Like the fact that it's constantly in motion, it's constantly moving, the fact that you have asphalt from a racing track and not any other type of, you know, floor. There's gonna be a whole catalog of every single car model free online. Yes and no. You have lots of cars for Assetto Corsa, right? Like Assetto Corsa is a game that has an insane amount of mods, and most of them are free, and they are mods of real cars. But one thing is having mods for a 2014 game that still looks very pretty and everything, but another one is having, you know, models of like high resolution cars for a modern engine. Not to mention that at the same time it's not really that much a thing of the car itself, like the model itself, or rather the way the whole thing works, right? Like the lighting. Okay, those are all things that really, those are all things that you, yes, you can do as an indie dev, but like you shouldn't focus on something like this. You know, it would make sense to set your eyes in something like this if you already, like, I don't know, made many games and you want to take the next step. But for people like us that don't really have almost any experience in video game development, something like this is not gonna happen as an indie project. Yeah, well, you don't wanna be a solo dev, but if you wanna be a director, you need money, you know? Like if you're gonna be part of a professional team as anything other than a regular developer, you will need money to finance the game. Otherwise, you will work probably at a game that might end up being very good, but you're not gonna decide anything about it. You're just gonna be told what to do. I'll be the multi-million studio. Well, it's nice to dream big, but yeah. You probably should set a little bit of a more realistic objective for now. If you wanna be a multi-millionaire studio, you need, you know, more importantly, a good idea. Like, the graphics are irrelevant at that point. Like, I'm pretty sure the guys that made Vampire Survivors, you know, the graphics are Vampire Survivors are pixel art, and very low resolution pixel art at that. Because pixel art can look very good with high resolution. Like, there are plenty of examples like that. A good example being the fighting game BlazBlue, right? That's pixel art, but extremely high resolution. Like very, very high 2D sprites. But the point is that Vampire Survivors is the opposite. Vampire Survivors is so low resolution, like to the point that sometimes you cannot even tell what the fuck you are looking at. But the people that made that game pretty much became millionaires because of the idea. So if your objective is to become a multi-millionaire studio, even though they are probably not multi-millionaire, but they definitely have quite some money under them. But the point is that you gotta focus on the idea and not on the graphics. Because I'm pretty sure there is not a single indie game that got ultra popular thanks to the graphics. Not any that comes to my mind, at least. Like, of the ones that I think, it's, you know, Undertale, Hollow Knight, Vampire Survivors, what else? Well, I don't know if Omori counts. I think it's as popular as the other ones, but the point is that none of those games are particularly known for having good graphics. Well, some people like the art direction of Hollow Knight, but the game doesn't really have amazing graphics. It just gets the job done. Lethal Company? I'm not familiar with that game, but yeah, maybe. Like, the point is that to become a millionaire as an indie, you need to have a very good idea, more than anything else. Like, graphics do not matter at that point. Graphics are irrelevant as an indie developer. So yeah, don't worry about that. Well, not irrelevant if what you are aiming for is something that, you know, its only appeal is that it looks good, like, I don't know, like the typical turn-based RPG. And in that case, it's not like you need ultra-realistic graphics, but you at least need a very good art direction and very good, well, art in itself, right? But yeah, in cases where the gameplay is the focus, you kinda just need a good idea and not good graphics. I'm so afraid of getting a penalty right now. This track really is the mecca of penalties. Games you mentioned made like $100 million, making 3 or 4 millions is much more common. Well, yeah, it's much more common in comparison, but again, you are heavily underestimating video game development. You know, like, it really is not as easy as you think to get millions out of making a game. It is not. It really isn't. So, again, to avoid disappointment, set your standards a little bit lower for the time being. It's not impossible. Well, yes. But again, many things are not impossible. Like, I could go outside tomorrow and have a lightning struck me down. That's possible. But it's most likely not gonna happen. I will have to be extremely unlucky for that to happen. But yeah, the point is that don't gamble on a jackpot, you know? Like, it's always nice to think big and dream big and whatever, but gambling on jackpots exclusively is how casino makes money, you know? That's how a casino makes money. So yeah. Here the casino being the financial market, of course, because to make games, unless you're already loaded, you probably will have to take a couple of loans. And taking those loans, thinking that you're gonna hit a jackpot, is not gonna end well. Most likely. It could end well, but again, you're gambling for a jackpot. Just run the casino. Well, yeah, if you wanna do that, I think that's already a little bit too late. The people that run the casinos are people that were born into the casinos, you know? That's the sad reality of life. The people that have all the dosh, they were born into it. So yeah, that's a little bit of an impossibility. Okay, wait, what's this? Part 1 of what? Track Day GT. Oh, these are all with hypercars. But in that case, I could add the Sonda just for some variety, I guess. Yeah, I say I guess twice, because I'm a little bit moronic, but don't worry about it. But yeah, let's do it. Oh, and this one is not a face-off, it's an actual full grid race. Okay, sure. Though it might be hard to win, at least it's not raining. Gotta look at the right side. I also should probably qualify for this one. Winning without a quali here looks a little bit on the hard side. It's fine. Huh. Okay. It was pretty funny. Yeah, so I think I'll do 2 more attempts, and if I cannot get it, I will qualify. I mean, I probably should qualify before doing those attempts too. And now what? Dive bombing in something like this is, well, yeah, possible, actually. Yeah, that works. Okay. And you know, speaking of video game development, there is one video game I really like. It's another I Wanna Be the Guy fan game, I guess, but like the idea of the fan game, I really like it and I really want to see it happen, but it's so hard to think of interesting gameplay ideas. Like I have the idea of where you are and what the objective is and whatever, but don't really know what the gameplay gimmicks will be or the bosses. The idea is that it will have multiple bosses, but that's the problem with video game development. You can have so many ideas, but then executing it fucking sucks. So I haven't really started with it, but I think about it very often. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, where are you going? Can teach you how to come up with ideas. No, that's something that I need to figure out myself. Because see, here's the thing. I can come up with ideas. In fact, I could come up with probably 100 ideas. The problem is that they all suck. That's the issue. You know? That's the problem. Coming up with ideas, like doing brainstorming, is not hard. The hard part is grabbing an idea that is not shit. You know? That's the real problem. I don't like how far this guy is going. What you want from the player? No, like, I know exactly what I want from the player, but that's the thing. Things like that are like... I already knew what I wanted from the player in the previous fan game I did, and I ended subconsciously doing it way harder than I should have because of basically, you know, incompetency or incompetence. Sorry, that's the right word. You know, that's the issue. Like, I know exactly what I want the player to feel. I know exactly how I want the player to look at the game, but it's simply not that easy to come up with ideas that actually work. Like, you can come up with ideas that you think they work, which I did, by the way. I mean, believe it or not, the previous fan game I did, the second one, was made with the idea of, okay, this should be playable for people that are not super good at the game. And unfortunately, I was not able to make that happen, because my execution was not good for that. I mean, you can say that the execution is good for people that are, or at least decent for people that are good at those type of games, but not for new players. So yeah, that's the issue, you know? Execution is something that ends up being the final filter. Yeah, I know, like, what you're mentioning, I know. Like, yes, you want to make the game not too easy, so it's not a slog to get through, but not too hard so they don't get filtered. Like, I am aware of all of that. Like, it's not that I don't know, it's that I don't have the execution to do that. For what reason? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm, as I say multiple times, I'm just not very smart. But yeah, like, my execution is the one that is lacking, I think. I don't think my ideas are necessarily bad from a conceptual standpoint. I simply cannot execute them well. That's my problem. And for the, you know, possible fun game that I'm thinking that I could make next, that's the thing. I have hundreds of possible ideas. But, well, some of them are conceptually bad, but even the ones that are not conceptually bad, I probably won't execute them like I want them to be executed, right? So that ends up being the problem. Execution. That's where I end up falling flat, you know? It is what it is. I mean, there is a reason why good games are praised so much, because it's so easy to come up with bad games. Those are way more numerous and way simpler to develop, you know? Clearly. So much speed on the final corner. Valve playtests their games daily. Yeah, I mean, you can do all of that, but again, it's, you know, there's only so much that test players can do, you know? Oh yeah, the Raven West guys are supposed to be here. Oh, no way. You're really gonna make me do this. This is the exact same race you already made me do. Ah, fuck Okutama, dude. But yeah, no, I just think that if I do decide to make that game I'm mentioning, it's all a matter of, you know, being ready for this opponent, which I am, I guess, but at the same time I don't wanna, I don't know if I wanna use my time for something that will end up most likely being a disappointment. But at the same time, it's not like I use my time for much better things anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Like, you know that between the first and the second game there were like what was it? Like a whole year. No, yeah, a whole year. I basically took a whole year to start working on the second one because I was like, nah, I don't wanna waste time with that, until I eventually wanted to make something. That was not track limits, sack of shit. Well, maybe before trying to tackle another game, shouldn't you try finishing the one that you're currently working at? Because you know that you will end up like multiple developers do, that you tackle on like 10 different projects and you end up not finishing a single one of them. So wouldn't it be better to first finish the one that you're working on? I think that will be a better idea, personally. What the hell? Alright, I'm doing a quali. It's probably not gonna go well, but Okutama is already a piece of shit, so I think that a quali here is mandatory. Alright, let's try him. What an amazing start to the quali. Yeah, I just think that in your particular case, before engaging another project, you should finish the one that is still not finished. But hey, that depends on you, of course. You don't wanna do that. I don't think that was a good corner, but it's fine. I don't expect to get the pole position here. This is probably gonna suck balls. But I'm ready. As long as it's not 14th place to start with, I think it's fine. Damn, I'm already 1.5 seconds behind. That's worse than I thought. With that crash in the bridge, I cannot imagine this being much better. I still can't believe that that counted as a skip in that previous attempt. Fuck. Okay. That's a problem. I think that lap wasn't even that bad. Okay. Yeah, that also wasn't that fast. But let's see what the game says. Well, faster than the previous attempt at least. Not bad. Not a good drift, but it's fine. So here I ended up crashing, doing the full speed section, precisely for doing it full speed. I guess here you do need to reduce your speed substantially. Now, how will I handle the final chicane? I will assume that one is not full speed with this car. No, clearly not. Very clearly not. And then the final corner. That works. Okay, how good is this? Well, not enough for pole. Okay, I like that it's enough for third. Pretty cool. But yeah, now the issue is that the race is a whole nother can of worms. Because... well, overtaking these two guys is not the issue, it's staying on the lead that will be the issue. For fuck's sake. I'm already failing the premise here. That probably should be a restart. We also have this Raven West guy kissing the wall. An overtaking here is gonna be even worse. I really need to get rid of you, mister, but... Wow, I can't believe I overtook him there. Pretty wild. Nice. Wasn't an extremely clean overtake, but it was way cleaner than what I was envisioning. Oof. Glacius are now on the lead. It's gonna be a lot harder to do these corners properly without a guide. Well, this guy is in fact already right behind me. Didn't waste a moment. You keep kissing that wall, mister. I have a feeling that despite how fast you want to go, you're not really that fast. Also, he became a nemesis. That's something I was expecting. With how much there's gonna be contact here, it was kinda obvious. This is very dangerous, especially in a track like this one. Very, very dangerous. They definitely do that whole full speed section slightly slower than me, but yeah, he's still right behind me. If I could get rid of him, that would be so nice. Oh, looks to me that exchange didn't end like you wanted it to. Yeah, he's still second, isn't it? Yeah, that's bad. This is not gonna be over until one of us is dead. And something tells me it's gonna be me, probably. They want to go down first. And he keeps hitting that wall. He's lucky that the damages in this game are a joke, but otherwise he will already be pretty broken. And the fact that there is still one more whole lap remaining is a little bit nerve-wracking, really. I can't believe that happened. How did that even happen? Well, I can still reach him, but I don't understand how that happened. I feel like that didn't make any sense. I guess it apparently did, according to the game. I recovered the lead, but I mean, thankfully my performance is... Well, the performance of my car is the same. Shouldn't be, but yeah, I don't mind. Oof. Look at all those sparks. There is definitely some tension now, and he got overtaken, not for long though, probably. Or maybe yes, I don't know. This is still in third. Yeah, surprisingly, he's staying in third for now. I just hope I don't have the same accident I had on the previous lap, but yeah, that full speed section is super dangerous. And now he's back at second. Fuck. That is a problem. Okay. So you gotta survive the chicane somehow. At least he didn't go for the kill here. Oh, no way. No, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, whew. And that was an extremely intense race. I ended up winning, though half my car didn't win, but it's fine. And I didn't have the fastest lap. The fastest lap was someone that ended up 9th place. Probably had an accident or something, though. Okay. Yeah, that could have been a lot worse with how annoying this track is. Yeah. That's a pretty cool skin on Raven West car. I guess that's the point. And then the final one of the second DLC, it's in Red Bull Ring, which makes sense also with the same cars. Okay, let's bring it. At least it's the normal version. Oh, but with rain, unfortunately. I might need to... Oh, but it's a show... Well, a show-off, a face-off. So the qualing here doesn't make any sense. Well, this is also... Except for the rain, it's kind of like the same event that we already had in this DLC not that long ago. Nice. Very clean overtake, clearly. Wait, 8 laps, dude? I was not paying attention to that. 8 laps on this, really? Isn't that an exaggeration? I do not like that. Because I don't think that this is a track that I can simply gain... Oh, fuck me. I don't think I can gain an advantage here. Yeah, 8 laps is a little bit crazy. Especially for a track that I'm not good at. At least it's a track I'm familiar with, but... Yeah, not particularly very good on this particular game in this track. And especially not when it's raining. I got an objective called moving at light speed. Well, I know these cars are fast, but that's that's quite an exaggeration, don't you think? These cars are fast, but definitely not that fast. No, fuck, it's fine, it's fine. As long as I don't get a penalty for going on the outside on one of those. Well, on the outside off track, I mean. That's too much. No, damn it. These corners are being a torture to pull off. Right here I'm not ducking it out against the Raven West guys, I'm ducking it out against my own teammate. Alright. I need to get used to the track, at least. Surely with all those laps I have more than enough time to get used to it, right? Surely. I hope. One of these is gonna end up being a penalty. And when that happens, I better have been used to the track, cause yeah. Okay, I am not doing this corner properly. That seems pretty clear now, but I'm not sure why. Wait, I just remember something. Isn't that Harrison guy the guy that in Grid 2 wasn't part of Raven? Well, in fact, that's the thing. In Grid 2, Raven West didn't exist, right? Or did it? I don't remember. I remember very little about Grid 2, even though I played it like a month ago. I mean, you know how bad my memory is. Weird that this has separated into two groups, right? I'm with this Rick Scott guy and my teammate is with Harrison. This corner is brutal. At least I did it better this time. I don't know why sometimes the braking references at the side of the track sometimes respawn like no one destroyed them, and then here they remain destroyed. Seems so random. It's like it happens whenever the game wants it to. At least here I'm keeping a nice distance. This corner is driving me nuts, dude. Damn it, dude. Not to mention that this other corner, it has braking references that are essentially those hanging posts, but you can barely see them because of the sun. So it makes you think that, nah, there is no corner coming, but no, there is. And a pretty fucked up one at that. The fact that none of these off tracks counted as a penalty yet, I feel like it's a miracle. I shouldn't push my luck further, I think. I already pushed it far enough. Like that one, I feel like should have been a penalty. Let's not complain about not being penalized, you know? So my teammate ended up being at dead last. It seems that there is quite a difference right now. Okay. Well, we're on the 7th lap. It's getting closer to the end. Which means that at least one of... Oh, look at that one. That one invalidated the lap, but it wasn't a penalty. And I'm pretty sure that in all of the other ones, none of them invalidated the lab. So why did that one invalidate the lab? That doesn't make any sense. Regardless, at least one of my objectives will be completed, which is finishing one of the DLCs. Ideally, I want to finish the first one too. The problem is that the first one has 2 categories that are very hard, which are the hot hatches and the Formula 1 Renault car. Those are gonna be a problem. But yeah, I have to try, because if I manage to finish the first DLC season as well as this one, that means that on the next stream the next stream of this game, not necessarily my next stream, I can fully focus on just the 3rd season and forget about these 2. I doubt that the 3rd season is gonna be much better anyways. In fact, it's probably gonna have the classic LMPs that showed up during some invitationals in the main game, and that category fucking sucks. So I don't expect the 3rd season to be better than this one, but at least I hope it's better than the first one. Here at least I gotta be glad that unlike Kokutama, which it was mostly me blocking the guys behind, here I'm actually winning like very legitimately. Like I'm actually just winning for having a better pace than them. So that's pretty nice. Wonder if that's gonna be a PB. No. Okay, nice. And with that, the second DLC is done, just like that. But yeah, the second DLC, I gotta say, it was pretty cool, you know, like definitely miles ahead the first one. The first one was not very good, and it's still not even done, so yeah, that one was nice. So second DLC, they see right there, you achieve goal in all events. Sure I did, indeed. So yeah, season 1, back to season 1. So this one, I got my ass kicked, and this one I kicked my own ass. So that was an issue, but I've been thinking that maybe the only thing I should do here is simply pick a different car. So I'm gonna pick the Audi. Maybe it's not the solution, in fact it most likely is not the solution, but might as well try. Because see, I tried this with the Lancia and I could not win. But yeah, I probably won't win either with this one. Also, is everyone an Audi? I think, yeah, we are all Audis. Well, at least this way we cannot really say that it's the fault of the car. That's for sure. Now the issue is getting used to these cars. Though here I can already tell you that it was different than my previous attempt. In my previous attempt I couldn't even overtake a single... Well, actually I don't remember how it went. Did I think I managed to get second place after a lot of time. Like I didn't overtake immediately like here. And then the first place simply was not reachable. But yeah, here I got first place already on the first corner. So maybe switching cars was the right idea. Well, with the event on the other side, you cannot really do that. The event on the other side is with the Formula 1 car, and that's obviously the only car in that category. So yeah, you gotta win with what you have. There is no other choice for you to make. There is no choice. You just gotta give good. Yeah, that's the problematic thing. Yeah, we have to try. Another thing that is very... fuck. Another thing that is very clear is that my pace is not better than theirs. But as long as I keep the lead, I can simply keep them behind me, you know. Yeah, unfortunately, this is also a very, very long race. It's essentially 10 minutes. More than 10 minutes, maybe even. And it's on these fucking cars. Like, that's basically the worst part about this DLC season. The only new cars are hot hatches. Like, what's the logic behind that, dude? Like, why will you be like, huh, you know what we have? These slow-ass cars that your grandma could be driving. Like, I probably understand, like, for people that have cars in real life, that, hey, maybe you own one of these, so, hey, being able to use them in the game is like, wow, that's pretty cool. I can even use my own car to race. But at the same time, dude, I feel like in a game where you could, you know, theoretically use any car, why will you willingly use these ones? And more importantly, why will you pay extra for them? Because again, this is a DLC. These cars are not in the main game. So why the fuck will you pay for these cars? See, in the second DLC, the new cars are the hypercars, right? Yeah, hypercars obviously make sense. I mean, the fact that they are DLC is very scummy, because in the previous game it wasn't a DLC. But whatever, sure. The thing is that paying for those, ignoring the fact that they were already in the base game in the previous game, is something that makes sense, because they are like very popular and very like sought after cars. But these hot hatches, like, who gives a fuck about these cars? Or like, who gives enough of a fuck to pay extra for them? That's the question. Because this being in the main game will make sense. I mean, to be like one of the first categories, right? Like every, well, not every, but many racing games have, at least the racing games that have like multiple cars to pick from, usually have the slow cars as the first one you use. Well, the Gran Turismo being the best example. Like, you don't start with like a racing a shitty car or anything like that. You start with like a commute street car, right? You could start maybe with the typical, you know, like one of those fat Japanese cars that lots of Japanese people in real life use for everyday commuting, right? Like, you could start racing in one of those. And yeah, you might be thinking, why would I want to race in this piece of shit? But the thing is that you start that way so you can feel the progression, right? You start with something very slow, very common, and very shitty. So that way, when you progress into faster and more expensive cars, you are like, oh shit, things are getting better. But the thing here is that it's kinda the opposite. Like, unless you start playing the game with the first DLC season, which I don't know why you will do that, but unless you do that, you essentially beat the whole game with many very fast categories and all of that, and then you are like suddenly back to this shit. Why? Why will you do that? So yeah, like aside from that, I think that the first season also has, well, the same issue that the second season has, that is a lot of repetitiveness when it comes to the tracks and the event format and all of that. But really the weakest thing is the fact that these are the new cars of the season. You should have kept them. Honestly. Just keep them. I don't want them. Yeah, it's fine. It's not that you even need to go as far as Gran Turismo, you know, like in this same series, right? In Grid 2, you have that sort of progression where you start with slower cars, and the longer you go on, the faster the cars get. So it's just one of those things that, yeah, it's a very weak start for the season. Whatever. Ouch. I feel like here 5 laps is a little bit of an exaggeration. I understand that it's a single race and a face-off at that, but don't you think you can drive the point home in like 2 laps? Like, I don't think I need 5 laps to dominate these guys. Well, ironically, when I use the Lancia, if I played a little bit better, I probably could have won, but only because it was 5 laps. If it was less than 5 laps, I wouldn't have gotten close to the first place. But yeah, considering that you can simply just pick this car instead of trying to make it harder for yourself, yeah, with this car I can already know that I'm dominating 2 laps in. 5 laps just seems a little bit unnecessary, you know? I mean, 5 laps here will make sense with a faster car, although I will not prefer it, but with these slow-ass cars, not so sure about that. Whatever. What's important here is finishing this DLC season. I am surprised by how insane the gap is with the second place. Really, if you remember my previous attempt here with the Lancia, I was struggling so much to reach the first place, and I ultimately couldn't. And here I'm just dominating effortlessly, because I don't think I'm even driving well. But yeah, everyone else is certainly not driving better than I am, so it's good enough. Okay, well, at least that one is out of the way. So now comes, I think, Formula 1 in Silverstone, right? And here my issue was that I simply died, you know? So yeah. I don't remember how many laps it was, but I cannot imagine it being 6 laps. Yeah, at least it's the normal Silverstone version, but yeah, I do remember getting into like 1 or 2 accidents and I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. I'm not bothering. But this one, I gotta admit, I didn't really try it too hard. Not to mention that these cars are very hard to handle. Like despite being Formula 1 and it's like, well, the downforce on these things is demonic, right, with how good it is, but it's not really easy to do the corners as fast as you want without heavily risking spinning out. That's for sure. Now I already have a Nemesis, so on top of worrying about spinning out, I have to worry about not being murdered. Ain't that great? Well, that's another thing about this car, that since it's like the fastest one in the game, turning opponents into Nemesis is way easier, as every impact tends to be a high-speed impact. Oh, and something that I remember here in Silverstone is that the sausages in the corners are super annoying to deal with. I'm surprised I stopped the... Wait, what the hell? I look at the minimap, like the guy completely skipped the corner. Like, was he trying to roll for me, or was it simply the AI somehow miscalculating? I don't think that they have miscalculated that badly before. Like, that was on par on what a human driver will do. Like, the AI tends to miscalculate sometimes, but never that badly. Or at least I haven't seen them do it that badly. But that was pretty funny. Well, they are out of the way, but they are probably gonna come back, because I don't think I'm fast enough to just keep them away. I mean, as you can see, I cannot keep these guys away. So the other one is gonna be back in no time. I think it was also something like that in a Sepang race, where, or I don't remember if it was Sepang, but it was a race where my Nemesis like basically went pretty far. Ah, shit. Okay, that could have been worse, but yeah. Now I need to overtake these guys again. At least I only have to worry about 2 of them and not 3. That's still annoying. That works. Yeah, as you can see, the other guy is pretty much almost back. So yeah, at no point in this race you can be like, oh, that's it, we won. We can stop worrying now. No, that's not gonna be the case. We have to keep worrying. Well, maybe it wouldn't be the case if I was a better driver with this car, but I'm not. It really is pretty hard to drive with this thing properly. Or maybe we can say that the AI is just very good. I guess that will make me feel better, right? Happy for that not being a penalty, because it could have been. Yeah, Mr. Nemesis is pretty much back with a vengeance. Okay. Not bad. You can do that corner way faster. As you can see the AI doing it. Doesn't seem like I can do that corner properly. Again with this shit. Okay, not a penalty though, but at least this time they didn't overtake, but man, that ending is so rough. And guess who's back? Mr. Nemesis. Well, I mean, he kinda was already back before, but right now the distance is non-existent. As long as it stays in last place, though, it doesn't matter how close you are. That's the question. Will it stay in last place? I don't know. We can only hope. That was close. This final sector in general is just brutal. Now the question is, can I finish the final lap without any issues? Because yeah, you could be like, well, just do it like you did that one, but that's a little bit easier said than done. Well, a lot easier said than done, not just a little. With how hard to drive this car is, it's... yeah. Like anything will happen at any moment. And I'm talking about my own driving. I don't even care about what my opponents do. Like, it's about me. Like, I could at any moment make a mistake. Like, it's that easy to make a mistake with this car because you are required to go at a pace that, well, I personally don't really feel comfortable with. Like, it's a little bit too fast for me. Ah, fuck. Okay. I'll take that. Though they are right now pretty close to me. Extremely close, in fact. Ooh, that was almost a spin out. That was almost another one of those sausage tilts, but no. This time it works. Oof. That was pretty intense. Wait, oh, those two guys got a penalty. I didn't even know the AI could get a penalty. That's pretty funny. But yeah, they got a penalty. Well, the first one, I guess, for the skip they did. I don't know what my teammate did to get the penalty, but... Yeah, ironic. No, actually, I think it was... Well, whatever. Who cares? I was gonna say that I think my Nemesis is the one that actually got second here. Probably not. No, never mind. No, my Nemesis is the one that also got the penalty. Well, nice at least that the game can issue penalties to those. Well, and here obviously I will go for this car as it already proved more than enough that it's clearly superior to the Lancia. So yeah, let's not waste any time. Well, Raven West is using the Lancia, I think. Yeah, it is. Are you sure about that? Well, if you are okay with that decision, sure, why not? You can see that one of them is already on the lead, but how long is that lead gonna last you? I wonder. I can't see shit. The sun really didn't let me see much out of that corner. You know, this guy is actually keeping the lead well. At least it's not that long of a race, because it's 5 laps, but differently from the Paris race, these are less than a minute laps. The issue right now is that I need to reach this guy. That's not a problem. Reaching him at least. Yeah, and overtaking is also not a problem if we just dive on like that. No problem. On the right side, it's only one race with these things. I think that the next one is with the classic touring cars, but I thought that was part of the second DLC, so maybe it's not those. Maybe it's something else. I'm not sure which ones. Now the interesting thing here is that I most likely will have enough time to at least start with the third DLC, which is, well, pretty nice. There's also some insane pace compared to the other guys. Well, in fact, the Raven West guy fell behind. I shouldn't be surprised with the car he was using, but yeah. I think it is pretty clear that one thing that was probably holding me back in a lot of those hot hatch races was my car choice, and to be fair, it was the cheapest car, but I mean, I didn't pick it because it was the cheapest. I picked it because it had like my favorite looking design. It is what it is. Now we clearly know that the Audi is the superior option, and yeah, to nobody's surprise, these things won Like the whole podium is made out of this thing, so not even Raven was got represented. Unfortunately, all three of these races are with this thing. Like, I get it that it makes sense since it's the new category of this DLC, but like, if only it just makes it even more sad that you're using these cars for the event that is supposed to close it out, you know? Very, very sad. And what's even sadder is that the final event is probably gonna be another face-off in Paris, since that's also the new track here. Yeah, like, we already did that. You know? I hope it's not, but chances are that it probably is. Yeah. That's 3 Nemesis in one race. Well, which is something that I already did before, but it was pretty quick. And one of them is my teammate. Oh, come on, stop bitching, dude. Wait, that's not my teammate. I mean, the other one is my teammate. Well, yeah. That has to be a restart. Yeah, that was the Raven West COG. It's fine, don't worry about it. The reason why I'm calling them COGs is because they really got COG out of their, like, supposedly super good drivers representation in the previous games. Since here their AI is nothing special compared to everyone else. So yeah. Imagine being a part of Raven West. So right now I'm the one that's getting fucked. Come on. I just really don't want to use these cars, you know. I think these cars really fucking suck. I wouldn't say that they are the worst category, because that probably belongs to the classic Le Mans prototypes, probably. But yeah, these are still pretty shitty. I mean, they are not shitty by themselves. I just don't want to use a slow-ass car like this one, you know? At least here I didn't trigger any Nemesis yet. It's just that this guy is hitting a little bit far from me. That cannot be. Now you're behind me. Will be pretty amusing if yet again you go out of the podium like it happened in the previous race. Basically destroying the Raven West legacy even more. Yeah, that will all depend on the other 2 guys behind you. And one of them is my teammate, so I don't have high expectations, but we will see. You never know. That's too long. Damn, these corners are fucking me up so badly. Like, I know that Silverstone has these corners, but... feel pretty brutal. Especially this one. I think the fact that it's nighttime and in the middle of the rain definitely does not help. It certainly doesn't. Mr. Harrison is about to be rich, actually. Oh, come on, overtake him, Mr. Teammate. We need to tarnish Raven West's reputation even more. Come on, please make an effort. Yeah. I guess it's what happens when you leave things to my teammate. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that speed-wise, I mean, it's pretty clear, like they are both being held back because they are being blocked by Harrison. But if it wasn't for that, he clearly wouldn't be in second place. Alright. Yeah. You only were able to stay there because of your starting position. That's without a doubt. I wish the AI wasn't so shit at overlapping, really. Overlapping, what am I saying? Overtaking, not overlapping. Alright, only one more for this, and yes, it is in Paris, as expected. But man, that's so... man, 7 laps? Not only that's so unoriginal, but that's so shitty as well. Like, that's a face-off that is even longer than the previous one, but it's the exact same thing. Like, I'm not sure if it's the exact same variant, but it's one of the long ones. It probably is the exact same variant. Man, that sucks so much. At least on the right side is... my only worry is my teammate, because these morons with the Lancia are not gonna beat me. Like, that's for sure, that's guaranteed. We already saw it in that other phase of, like, the Lancia cannot compete with the Audi. There's just no way. Yeah, at the same time I do have to worry about my teammate. That is still an issue. It is gonna be so annoying. Well, it is so annoying. Again, annoying and unoriginal. I guess it's the best way to close out the first DLC season. This perfectly represents the first DLC season. Unoriginal, annoying, repetitive, all of that together. Well, at least I will have a little bit more time to at least taste a little bit of the third season and take the bad taste that this shit is gonna leave on me. Because again, 7 laps in this track and with this car, well, that's 14 minutes most likely. Regardless of how much exact time it is, I know that it's a lot more than it should be. And yeah, at this point I am sure that this is the exact same version as that other face-off. Like, there is no difference. It's the exact same track. And it also rains. The only difference is that it's not nighttime, but who cares? You're pretty much making me repeat the exact same shit. God damn it, dude. I mean, looking at these events from these DLCs, like, now I obviously think to myself, like, yeah, maybe going for a win in all of them wasn't the greatest idea. Not because winning is hard, or rather doing them is hard, like, because of the lack of motivation, right? Why will you be motivated to do the same event you already did, but even longer this time? Like, what? You know? I really shouldn't have touched the DLC seasons. I should have left the game at the main game. It's now pretty easy to say it. Yeah, like, that would have been a way better idea. Just leave it on the main career and forget these DLC seasons exist. It's too late now, especially now that after this there will only be one DLC season remaining. I just hope that last one is at least better than this one. If it doesn't want to be better than the second one, well, it will be shitty, but whatever, but at least be better than the first one. Please. That's all I'm asking. On the right side, we will be able to find that out today. Like, which is the new car category and which is the new track. Unless there are multiple ones, which will be a very nice surprise. But if there's only one of each, like we already seen in the first and second seasons, then I hope at least they are cool. It's just that it's pretty hard to make something better than hypercars. Like, hypercars really feel like they are the pinnacle that you can make outside of LMPs and Formula 1, and those are already categories, so they will not be new categories. So I'm not sure what else you will have, but something tells me it's gonna be disappointing. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, it would be nice to have something like, I don't know, concept cars. And by well, technically I think this car is supposed to be a concept car, but I mean, like, you know, like concept cars that are basically just, you know, prototype things. Not precisely Le Mans prototypes, things like, I don't know, like, well, like what Gran Turismo had in either 5 or 6, that was, I think, a Red Bull car that it was some very weird shit. Like, obviously a car that doesn't exist, that was like the fastest car ever. Like, it basically had like very similar handling to a Formula 1 car, but even better. So yeah, something that doesn't exist, but the thing is that it was cool, right? So something like that will be very nice here, but I don't expect that to be the case. Another thing maybe that will be cool will be electric cars, but like fast electric cars like that Renault thing that is in Drive Club. Well, and it's in Drive Club, and I think in one of the Grid games as well. It wasn't it in... Well, I don't remember if it was in Grid 2 or in Autosport. I'm pretty sure there was an electric car that was the one I'm talking about. Something like that will be nice too. Like, I think it wouldn't be better than hypercars, but at least it will be mildly interesting. Then, what most likely is gonna happen is a disappointment. I fully expect to be disappointed. So that way, I guess I will be disappointed a little bit less. since I expected. Maybe. Surprised I wasn't ahead. The car looked a little weird when it went through that. Not to mention that races this long, unless they are with a car like the Formula 1 that is very hard to drive, they tend to become this a time trial. Because if you get used enough to the track, chances are that the AI is not gonna keep up with you. At least not in this game. In another game, maybe it will still keep up, but... Well, and even if it was Formula 1, I feel like these are so many laps that you will probably end up getting used to it anyways. So that's also another reason why I'm not a fan of long tracks here. Like, them being long is an issue. The fact that they are really not a challenge is another issue. Like, I already know I will win here. Obviously I could still make a mistake, but the thing is that outside of those, you know, accidents, like, there is no chance for me to win. I mean, to not win. Like, it will happen, whether the game likes it or not. Then again, most accidents here are usually just crashing against the wall from the side, so... Wait, did I say the wall? I meant to say the wall. But... I mean, crashing against the wall from the side is the worst thing that can happen. And that doesn't tend to be an issue. Like, your car doesn't get damaged, aside from visually. And you also don't lose that much time, because your car doesn't lose that much speed in the impact. And of course you're still facing the track, so it's not like you have to go in reverse to get out of it or whatever, like if it was a frontal impact. surprised at that that part that is hanging there is still, you know, is still there instead of having flied out or something. Not sure what you're waiting for. Maybe you are expecting a greater impact or something. Are you expecting that? Maybe not. Maybe yes. Okay, what about that one? Is that not good enough for you? What, you want an even stronger impact? You want me to actually break you? Come on. Don't be like that. I guess you kinda do, because you really shouldn't be hanging right there. You should be completely out. Yeah, at least this is the final lap. And then after this, I hope that we can forget about this category forever. Don't wanna see it again. Well, at least not in this game. If it's in other games at the very beginning of the career mode or whatever, yeah, sure. But not anything else. Well, the distance to the Raven West guys I thought was gonna be way more pronounced, but not really. I mean, they clearly are behind both of us, but I thought the difference was gonna be more brutal. Well, whatever, let this just be over, please. That was almost a 15-minute race. I was actually a little bit off with the 14-minute guess. Okay, yeah, the first season is done. The first and the second season. So at least my objective for the stream was actually fulfilled, which is pretty nice. We completed. Wait, didn't mean to do that. I couldn't see because I pressed edge to like skip, but I didn't skip. It ended up entering in this event. So I couldn't see the thing that said all gold whatever. Well, whatever. you see it. So season 3. So it's hypercar again, but different hypercars. That's the Koenigsegg. Wait, what? We already start. Oh, not this car, dude. I thought we were done with this shitty ass car. I guess we are not, but more importantly, I wasn't even allowed to pick it. They didn't let me pick it. Whatever. Oh, hold up. Oh, this is a Suzuka Circuit, I just realized. Well, that's interesting, because that's not a first, though, is it? Was Suzuka Circuit in Grid 2? I don't remember. So that's an interesting addition, yeah. Yeah, that was definitely a penalty. Yeah, I probably should restart. Problem is that I absolutely hate this car. This car sucks. It's one of the hardest cars to drive in the game. And yeah, I mean, that's it, really. Hey, I'm surprised I wasn't allowed to pick a color or anything like that. Unless I accidentally press X twice or something. Could be. Shit. Okay. You know what? We probably don't want to start with this one. Honestly. Let's just start with this one instead. So this one says super... But wait a second. These are the same... categories that were in the main game, not even in the invitational. These are categories that were actively using the supposedly normal events. Why are you doing this to me? I mean, it's pretty nice to see Suzuka Circuit, like that's a great addition, but come on, dude. Okay, you know what? Might as well start with the new category, you know? This one. So you have... Oh, the Ferrari, this is the one I mentioned, the FZK, the Ferrari Fug, it was in Drive Club. Then a Koenigsegg Agera, a Bugatti, and a Koenigsegg Chesco. I'm gonna purchase them all, of course, and I'm gonna use them all as well. Yeah, I guess we can go in order, starting with the Ferrari. Wait, and this Ferrari you're not allowed to change the livery. So yet again, Ferrari being exclusive little fucks. Just like the name of the car. Which is weird, because wouldn't you think that they probably would want the car look red? But wait a second. That guy is allowed to be red. Why am I not allowed to be red? That's a little bit unfair. Don't you think? Amazing start. Maybe I should qualify for this once. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know why these ones are considered hypercars, but not the ones in the previous one. I guess those were considered hypercars, and yeah, now they are not, because they are power creep by these other hypercars. It's possible. It is the version of Suzuka Circuit that is short. Ah, for fuck's sake, dude. It's gonna be impossible not to skip the corners here. I'm gonna do a quali. I really need to, because this is gonna be very hard. It wasn't a good corner, but it's fine. So something that I gotta say is that this car certainly felt a lot better to drive in Drive Club, and I am aware that Drive Club is like even more arcadey than this one, but well, in fact, Drive Club is not. I wouldn't even call it a simcade like this one is. Drive Club is simply, I wouldn't say fully arcade, but doesn't really try to be realistic at all. But in that game, the feel of speed that this car gave you was extremely good. Right, so now that I got second for quali, I only have one guy to overtake, so it should be fine. The opponent's pace is definitely quite fast. At least this guy's pace. Okay, somehow that wasn't slow enough to leave me behind. Maybe this is one situation where this car is simply not better than the other ones. Considering it was the cheapest, I wouldn't be surprised, but... Come on, dude. I think Ferrari wouldn't appreciate that, right? Making their car the slowest one. So they certainly deserve it for being such exclusive whiny little shits about their license. I should be able to overtake this guy though, but you can see, yeah, that they are faster. Like, that car is certainly faster on straights than this one I'm using. And it probably extends to the rest as well, so... It is probably just another situation like the Lancia and the Audi, right? Well, you can even see the disparity behind us. So don't pick this car. That seems to be the lesson to be learned here. Do not pick this car. It's a bad idea. Not sure which one will be a good idea, but this one certainly isn't. This guy is bullying me, and it makes sense. To him I'm going very slow. Yeah, I'm trying my best, you know. Yeah, as far as I know, this car is a it's fully a prototype, right? Don't know if this exact model of the car exists. I think that overall the car that you saw in the second DLC, like the Ferrari FXX, I think that one is the real version, and this one might just be a concept car. Or at least that's what I remember seeing when I googled this car. The mythical Ferrari fuck. Well, that car apparently just never left the concept thingy. The other ones, I'm pretty sure they are both real. Well, both, I mean the three of them are real. Like the Koenigsegg Agera, of course, the Bugatti Veyron, and well, the other Koenigsegg, I don't know, but probably is as well. Okay. Yeah. The moral of the story is do not pick the Ferrari. Do not pick it. Forget about it. It was a nice try, but yeah, there is no point in picking this shit. And the fact that you cannot even change the delivery is even worse. It's like you're this exclusive for no reason. I do need to do one of these, but I guess I can do this first two. Nah, let me try doing one of these. Promise that this really sucks. Like, I will have to do a quali here as well. Especially with this car. Let me do the quali. Though it seems like in the upper half of this season, like, you cannot pick the car that you wanna use. Like, the car is always one that you will accept whether you like it or not. will have your car pick for you and you will be happy. The problem with that is that I cannot change the livery, which, I mean, most of the times it's not a problem, but I don't think it will be so hard to limit the selection of the car but allow you to customize the livery, you know? That should not be hard. Well, maybe you can do it in your garage or whatever, like, you probably can do that, but I don't know. How good is this? That was quite bad. Better than 18th place, but I still need to overtake so many of them. Well, I'll try. Not to mention that this is the default livery for this car, but it's so lame and I never bothered to change it, which I guess it's the worst part. If I probably bothered to change it in the main career, maybe it will be changed now, but I don't know if it works that way or not. Yeah, this is not gonna go well. Like, if I cannot get a good quali, there is no way I'm winning this. Unfortunately, I need to get a good quali, so I need to do the quali again. Man, like, this is such a bad way to start the DLC. Like, why will you start it like this? At least you are not starting it with rain. I guess we gotta be thankful for that, but why with this absolute shit heap of a car? Like, why does it have to be this one? There are so many better cars to use and you use this trash. I wanna believe this is gonna be a better time, yeah. I mean, for now it's pole position, but I don't know how good I can do this final corner. That seems good enough to me. It is. Alright. Well, at least I don't have to worry about overtaking now. I do have to worry about maintaining the lead, and these are 5 laps. That's also fucked up. Like, don't you think this particular combination is a little bit too much for the first event? Just a little bit, right? Don't you think? Perhaps. Yeah, now having no shithead to stop me, this is quite different. It seems that I might be alone for the rest of the race. I mean, from an entertainment standpoint, I probably should have tried to win by starting from the bottom, but I guess not. It's just that overtaking in this version of the track and with cars like this is a little bit too messed up for me. But the alternative is this, just getting the pole and then murdering everyone with it. Yeah, at least, as I say before, the inclusion of Suzuka Circuit is pretty nice. Like, it's a good choice, and again, I feel like my memory is fucking shit, but I think Suzuka Circuit was not in the series before, right? So it's like actually new, as opposed to being taken from a previous game. Yeah, like it has to be. Like it was not in the first one. It was not in the second one. I'm pretty sure it was not in the second one, at least. It was not in the third one, and well, it's on this one now. So yeah, that's also very nice. So I think here at least it's like the new content is nice, like it's a good track and a good category, which is well, the actual hypercars. The previous ones were called something else. What are your favorite types of chatters? What kind of question is that? Your favorite type of chatters? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really mind anything, I guess. I don't think I have any particular preference, you know? I mean, the problem is that you're asking that question to a streamer that barely gets chatters, and the chatters that he gets are people that have been here for a while, in the sense that it's kind of hard to just view them as chatters. I mean, yes, they are technically, but like to me, when I look at Wasabi or a Kael or whatever, I just look at, oh, that's Wasabi, or oh, that's Kael, right? Like I don't really think about, oh, this type of chatter is like this or like that, because they are unique, obviously. I mean, well, everyone is unique, even if this was a big channel, but the point is that it's pretty hard to consider them like a mass of chatters when I can identify them so easily, simply because there are not that many, right? Okay, thankfully that was first. Yeah, I was scared that the penalty wasn't gonna let me, but it did. Good. What are your favorite stream conversations? I mean, I like talking shit about Street Fighter 5. I enjoy that a lot. Nah, well, yes, I was gonna say I'm kidding, but I'm not really kidding. It's pretty fun to talk shit about Street Fighter 5 because it's a piece of shit of a game. But aside from that, yeah, I don't know. I like talking about Touhou a lot. That's something that I realized the other day. When I was playing Touhou and talking about Touhou lore, I can actually get pretty passionate about it. Yes, Touhou has been a part of my life for so long. I mean, quite literally 14 years since I started playing Touhou. So it's been pretty important, a very big inspiration as well. But yeah, like... No, I mean, here's the thing. Like, first of all, I understand what you say, that a chatter can be annoying and bring the mood down or whatever, but that's kinda skill issue. I mean, yes, chatters that you don't want, like I had in the past, like especially one thing I will always remember is when I play Hollow Knight, there were so many chatters that were obviously not regulars, with people that got there for the first time, most likely because the YouTube algorithm recommended it to a bunch of new people, and they say, I mean, they were trolling on purpose, so obviously I don't like that, but the point is that even those, I feel like if they get into your nerves, it's kind of skill issue from the streamer part. It's like the typical streamer that is like, Chad, you distracted me, like I would have won if you didn't distract me. That's 100% skill issue. Like, if as a streamer you cannot manage your focus properly, don't blame the chatter for that. Like, if you really were good enough as a streamer, at least from like a self-control way, not really a popularity way, but if you had enough self-control as a streamer, you will know when's the right time to look at the chat and when it isn't. And if you don't, it's your fault and not the chat, you know? Because sometimes that also happens to me, believe it or not. Even though I am relatively experienced with only looking at the chat when it's convenient, sometimes I also look at the chat and get distracted, and that causes me to lose or do something that I wouldn't have done otherwise in the game. But that's 100% my fault, you know? That's not the chatter's fault. I should have looked at another time. And the same applies if a chatter is being annoying. Like, if the chatter, first of all, a chatter being annoying is something that, yeah, in some cases with like purposeful trolling, I guess it's something that is less subjective. But you can be annoyed by things that other people think are normal questions, right? Like, sometimes, I mean, this kinda will probably make me sound like an asshole, and that's because, yes, I probably am, but sometimes I get pissed off at questions that are natural, right? Like, for example, I don't know, like, what do you have to do in this game mode or whatever? And in this game, I guess it's not something that's gonna show up very often, because it's pretty clear what you have to do. I could sometimes be annoyed if someone asks me something like that, but that's the thing, that's not the chatter's fault, that's my fault for being annoyed at something that I shouldn't, because it's a normal question, right? And by the way, I'm not saying that so you stop asking questions or anyone else stops asking questions. Some questions I like answering, some others not so much, but the point is that regardless of that, that's my fault. Like, if I get annoyed by that, and not the chatter's fault. So I'm just saying this because don't blame yourself for something that is clearly not your fault, and rather it's the streamer's fault. So again, ask any question you want, say anything you wanna say. If I get annoyed, it's my fault. Because it's also pretty simple, right? Like, if a chatter is annoying me a lot, and I tell them, well, first of all, if they annoy me and I want them to stop, I will say it, right? Like, I shouldn't just hold it, because at that point it's like, you are asking for it, right? And if you, even after saying that, they keep going, you as a streamer always have the tool to ban someone, right? So what I'm trying to say with all of this is that do not try to become a certain chatter, simply be who you are. If the streamer gets annoyed, it's the fault of the streamer. And more importantly, if they really get annoyed and want you to stop, they will let you know. No, that's the thing. Well, I don't know about other people. If I get somehow, this hasn't really happened almost at all. In fact, that Hollow Knight example it's a very big exception. But the point is that if someone annoys me to that end, I will let them know beforehand. Like, I wouldn't ban them without warning. Actually, I have a recent example, now that I think about it. I was playing Need for Speed Most Wanted or Carbon, I don't remember which one. And there was a guy that was asking, like, I have issues making a Need for Speed game work on an emulator, can you help me? And I was like, well, I will suggest Googling, because I am not the one that made the emulator, and aside from telling you to like disable non-default options, it's not like I could tell you too much, right? So the thing is that I kept telling them that, and he kept asking me the same shit. Like, he didn't understand what I was saying. Like, that's what I want to believe is what happened. Like, he wasn't very good at English, and he didn't understand my answer that I cannot help you because I don't know. Google it instead, or asking the emulators Discord, right? So after like 5 times of him keeping asking the same shit and me saying the same shit, I was like, dude, sorry, but I want you out of here, and I ban him. Because at that point, I take that the same way as a spam. Because I'm telling you and you are not listening. Either because you don't understand because your hearing is bad, or you are an ESL that just, I mean, I'm an ESL, but like, you're an ESL that understands even less than I do. Like, understandable, but I just don't want you spamming the same shit over and over, you know? That's that. Ah, fuck. Wait, this is Red Bull Ring. There's that corner that always fucks me over. I tried streaming and I hated answering the same questions over and over. Well, in my case, as I mentioned before, it's not like many people come here anyway, so... To me, like, I'll saying it here without thinking too much, I will say that almost any interaction is welcome. I know that that's something that I probably will regret saying if I think about it a little bit more. Like, I'm not a popular, obviously I'm not a popular streamer, so my chat is usually very, you know, unpopulated. So... yeah, I don't really mind anything. And yes, things do annoy me, but things that really, really annoy me don't tend to appear in chat. Either because I'm lucky or simply because of, like, simply statistics, right? Like, not many people come to your chat, so chances of you being super annoyed are very low, obviously. So yeah, in my case, just to repeat what I mentioned before, is just say whatever you wanna say. Whether I like it or not is my problem, not your problem. So don't think you will be at fault. Oh, and if I ever somehow in the future imply that it's your fault or anyone else's fault for annoying me, you can rightfully call me a bitch. I mean, I cannot guarantee what will happen after that, but just let the me of the future, of the possible future that says that myself of the past thinks he's a bitch. Just that. I had like 100 viewers on Omega Strikers and they kept asking which trainings I pick on my character. Omega Strikers. Was that the game where there are like 3 players on each side and they will try scoring a goal? I think it was that one, right? I seen some people play that. I guess I didn't see them for too long. Well, mostly because he was a Korean streamer and he kinda stopped streaming on Twitch, but yeah. I remember him playing that a lot. Yeah, I know that game. Only because of that streamer, I didn't play it. After 2 days of that, I didn't want to stream anymore. Makes sense. I mean, it's not for everyone. I talked to the devs a lot, even got partner as a content creator, but I had some IRL issues when I moved to Spain, so I didn't end up playing it much. Just 500 hours. It's just 500 hours. Just casually have 500 hours in a game. That's pretty funny. You know that I don't have 500 hours in any Steam game, right? I do have more than 500 hours in other games, but on Steam there isn't a single game that reaches that. In fact, I think that my most played game has like, what, 250 hours or something? And then most of them are very below that. Just 500, well, yeah, if you compare it to something like League, yeah, I guess, like the average League player most likely has an insane amount of hours, but yeah, I mean, Omega Strikers is definitely not a game of the popularity of that other game, so I guess it will be expected that you will have less hours on it. Also, on a completely unrelated note, this car sucks as much as the Ferrari. Like, it really seems that unless you pick a Koenigsegg, you're gonna be eating shit in this category. It's like the Koenigsegg guys paid a lot of money, because both the Bugatti and the Ferrari really fucking suck. I mean, I know that this is Barcelona and this track also sucks, but this is terrible to the point that I don't know if I'll be able to win. Like, I might have cornered myself very badly for picking this trash. So I'm not a fan of that. Well, that guy died, at least that helps me a little bit. You can even tell, look at the AI. Those yellow cars are both Bugattis and they are completely blocking the Koenigseggs behind. Man, this car fucking sucks. Not to mention that rear wing racing so you can brake better actually blocks my vision. I obviously know that in real life you're not gonna be behind the car, obviously you're inside the car, so the rear wing flapping like that wouldn't get in your way, but the point is that, yeah, for this game it is an issue. Well, this and any game. Ooh, that was something. 6th place is the best I can place here, without a doubt. But man, this guy is slowing even me down, and I use the same car as he does. Well, actually that makes more sense. If anything, it will slow down another slowpoke like him even more. Then the Bugatti really fucking sucks, dude. Holy shit. But yeah, we know the lesson here. Do not pick anything other than a Koenigsegg. And well, I don't know if one of the Koenigseggs is clearly better than the other one. It could be. But yeah, what I do know is that both the Ferrari and the Bugatti are fucking shit. I hope this is enough point-wise to win. It should be, I think. It is not. It's not even close. Okay. I might need to quali. The back wing going up is annoying me so much. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're supposed to use this camera, right? But using this camera with a car as fast as this one is not a very smart idea. My only hope here is getting a good quali and somehow starting in the front, but I don't see myself getting a good quali here. I mean, how would I? Like, the difference in speed was very, very clear, so... Yeah, like, I'm 1 second behind and it's not like I did much at all. Okay, how good is this gonna be? No, pretty bad. Last place, really? Damn. I think I actually... Like, this is so shit. I think I need to restart the championship. Like, why do you even make the Bugatti an option? This might as well be a completely different category. Okay, I'm doing that. It's a shame, but this is not gonna happen. Like, there is absolutely no way. I need to redo this with a car that is not trash. Alright, so which Koenigsegg do I pick? Chesko? I mean, the Agera, I know for a fact that this shit tends to be top tier in every game it appears, so we will see here. It is the classic Koenigsegg Agera. So let's try. Well, not to mention this livery is so pretty. Like, pure black with those golden finishes. Amazing. So fancy. Alright, so let's see. Because yeah, all that shit that I was talking about, the Bugatti and the Ferrari, well, I better show them that that's the case and that it is not just a skill issue. But yeah, I mean, it seems pretty clear that it was not skill issue. Like, in the previous attempt I wasn't even close to second place on the first lap. And look at the increasing gap. Well, and not to mention here, I'm clearly faster than that Ferrari. Like, on a straight. So why would you not pick the Koenigsegg? I don't understand, like... You know, especially this being a DLC, which means that... Well, and not to mention the last DLC season, wouldn't it make more sense to make the cars balance? Because I will understand that one of the first categories on the game is a little bit unbalanced because it's when you don't have as much money, so it could be seen as a way to be like, okay, you have to purchase a cheap car to not spend that much money, but in turn the car is worse, right? But here, since most people that will play this are already full of money, like in-game credits, I mean, obviously, like, why would you make the difference so insane? It makes no sense. There is no reason for that. Sometimes you need bad options to make the other options look cooler. That's true. I mean, obviously, you have the... You know, good cannot exist without bad. And pretty things cannot exist if ugly things did not exist. I understand that principle, but I think that they might have gone a little bit far because this just enters into unplayable territory. You know? Like, if you pick anything that is not the Koenigsegg, it's like, what are you doing? I mean, look at this shit. The Ferrari there, I'm assuming, was able to survive because he started ahead, but look at this. Look at all these guys eating shit. Well, the Chesko seems like it might work, but I have to test it. It seems pretty clear that the Koenigsegg Agera here is superior. Could also be something they overlook. Well, yeah, that's the most likely scenario. Like, it's pretty clear. Well, it's either two things. Either Koenigsegg paid a lot of money to make their cars look better than the competition, or, yeah, they are incompetent and simply overlook it. Both things are very likely. Well, actually, the second one is more likely. One of their names is Isabella. Well, yeah, you also have Helga. You also, before that, you had Maria, I think, as well. So yeah, you have woman drivers here. Not like it matters because the AI drives exactly the same no matter what. In fact, in the main game, you had races where the name of an actual real-life professional driver, which was Fernando Alonso, showed up. And he was exactly the same as any other AI. And the AI in this game, let's just say, it's not very good. So, yeah. They were basically like, oh yeah, Alonso is a fucking hack. Yeah, pretty nice. If I was Alonso, I would be pissed off. But, I mean, it's not like they put him here for free. He probably got paid quite some money for it, so I guess I wouldn't be angry. I don't think the racing games I played had female names. Well, if it's games like the official Formula 1 game, they obviously won't have them because they are based on real-life drivers, and there wasn't a single woman, to my knowledge, that participated in a Formula 1 Grand Prix. Well, there is a whole division for women in Formula 1, but in the actual championship, I don't think there was one that participated. But yeah, they are in other categories. Like, for example, in IndyCar, you have Danica Patrick, like, as a real-life example. Also, I didn't say hag, I say hack. Though in this context, using hack doesn't make much sense. Usually, people that get called hacks are writers. Like, for example, Kojima. Kojima is a hack. In this case, Alonso being called a hack, I guess a more fitting word in this case will be fraud rather than hack. That would probably be more fitting. Alonso is anything but a hack or a fraud, but this game considers it to be. Also, yeah, that was pretty cool, that mistake right there. Well, that doesn't really matter because like, with the first place before, they should be good enough to win the championship anyways. Okay, that won't be enough, however. Fuck. The pianos fucked me up over twice. Stupid ass pianos. A hack made sense because all people are slow. Well, ironically, Alonso is very old by professional driver standards and he's still placing well. Okay, I'm getting completely fucked by this piano for some reason. I'm gonna overtake on the outside, fuck it. But yeah, you know, Alonso is a legend, without a doubt. I mean, you can say that about the majority of drivers that made it to Formula 1. If you, like, sure, you need a lot of contacts and a lot of times a lot of money to get a seat at Formula 1, but if you are there and you don't crash in every single race like some people did sometimes, that means that you are clearly a good driver, because Formula 1 cars are something that not anyone can drive, and much less not anyone can be fast with them. Because one thing is, yeah, not crashing, yeah, congratulations, but on top of that to also be fast, and on top of that to also been doing it for so many years. So yeah, Alonso is a legend, like not many others. Obviously, in terms of the amount of championships and Grand Prix he won, he doesn't have as many as other people. Just his whole trajectory is worthy of praise. Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, the placings are not, yeah, right now obviously he's past his prime, but the point is that he's doing it as a 40-year-old? How old is Alonso right now? Like, the fact that someone of that age is able to do that is crazy, you know? That's the thing. He's 45, then he's even older than I thought. I thought he was 40, and you might be like, well, it's only 5 years, but those 5 years matter a lot. I mean, that is 51, yeah, but the difference here is that, no, like, I'm not trying to say that 51 or 45 is geriatric level and, you know, like they are too old to do anything. 45 is old to be, like, it's pretty hard for me to stress how well your body has to be a Formula 1 driver. Like, it's not just having good reactions or whatever. You know the training your body needs to resist all that gravity at that speed, all that pressure, like all that shit. Someone that is 45 resisting all of that and being able to compete at a professional level is crazy. Neck muscles, well, pretty much everything. Like cardio, your arms, right? Like your legs. You need so much to be like a professional driver, especially for something like Formula 1. So the fact that he had 45... Oh, you say that his birthday was yesterday? Well, happy belated birthday to your dad. But yeah. Now, I don't want to be anticlimactic, but I'm ending the stream now because I already did more than I should have. If I had to guess, there's probably 2 more streams remaining to finish this game. I wish it was only 1, but judging, I mean, I can check again, but that's gonna be more than 1 stream, especially when it starts getting to the final events. Those are gonna be so long. So the most likely, this is probably gonna be 1 stream and a half, which means that in that second stream I will have to figure out what else to do. But that's not something I'm gonna worry now. I will tell you though that the next stream is not gonna be this game, but yeah, it will be something else. But yeah. No, I haven't raced in real life. I don't have the money or the body to do that, so no. And I don't even have a car license. Like, I never drive a car, either outside or inside a track. But in any case, thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream. So have a good one and take care.